Basic Grammar in Use Unit 10입니다. She's old, but she's not as old as he is. Box A isn't as big as Box B. Rome is not as old as Athens. The Grand Hotel isn't as expensive as Western. I don't play soccer as often as you. The weather is better than it was yesterday. It isn't as cold. I don't know. I don't have as much money as you. I don't know as many people as you. I don't go out as much as you. Rome is not as old as Athens. Athens is older than Rome. Tennis isn't as popular as soccer. Soccer is more popular than tennis. I don't go out as much as you. You go out more than me. She is not as old as him. She's not as old as he is. You don't work as hard as me. You don't work as hard as I do. The weather today is the same as yesterday. My hair is the same color as yours. I arrived at the same time as him. The oldest, the most expensive, Box A is bigger than Box B. Box A is bigger than all the other box. Box A is the biggest box. The Best West motor is more expensive than the Sleep Inn. The Best West motor is more expensive than all the others motor in town. The Best West motor is the most expensive motor in town. Bigger, older, more expensive. Biggest, oldest, most expensive. Oldest, old, oldest, cheap, the cheapest, nice, the nicest. Good, the best, bad, the worst, biggest, hottest, easiest, heaviest, prettiest, careful, the most careful, the most interesting. The church is very old. It's the oldest building in the town. It is older than all the other buildings. What is the longest river in the world? Money isn't important, but it isn't the most important thing in life. Excuse me, where is the nearest bank? Ken is a good player, but he isn't the best on the team. I've never, you've ever. The movie was very bad. I think it's the worst movie I ever seen. What is the most unusual thing you've ever done? What is the most unusual thing? What is the most expensive thing you've got in your life? What is the most beautiful thing in your life? What is the most beautiful thing you've ever done? You have. What is the most interesting book you've read in your life? What is the most expensive thing you've had in your life? What is the most interesting event in your life? What is the most in your life? What is the most you've ever? What is the most interesting book I've ever read? It is the most interesting book I've ever read. It is the most delicious food I've ever eaten. What is your most interesting book in your life? What is the most interesting event that he has ever behaved in his life? Enough. She isn't going to take a taxi. She doesn't have enough money. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough food to share with her. He can't reach the shelf. He isn't tall enough. He isn't tall enough. He isn't clever enough. He isn't clever enough to pass the test. Enough money, enough papers. Is there enough salt in the soup? We want to play football, but we didn't have enough player. Why don't you buy a car? You've got enough money. We've got enough money to buy this car. We've got enough book to share with her. I got some money, but not enough to buy a card. Would you like some more to eat? No thanks. I've had enough. You've always at home. You don't go out enough. Good enough, tall enough. Do you want to go swimming? No, it isn't warm enough. It is big enough. It is bad enough. He is bad enough. Would you like some more to eat? No, thanks. I've had enough. Can you hear the radio? It's loud enough for you. Don't buy the coat. It's nice, but it isn't long enough. Enough money, enough time, enough people, tall enough, good enough, old enough. He's old enough to marry. He's tall enough to reach the world. Enough for somebody. This sweater is big enough for me. I don't have enough money for a new car. I don't have enough food for sharing. I don't have enough money to buy a car. I don't have enough money to buy a new car. Is your English good enough to have conversation? Yes. My English good. My English is good for my English is good enough for conversation. There aren't enough chairs for everybody to sit down. There aren't enough chairs for everybody to sit down. There aren't enough books for everybody to read.